So I do get a lot of custom order requests to make people's pets, but I've never shared with you guys before kind of like the photo inspiration that people share with me of their pets and then the completed plushie. And I thought it would be kind of fun to show you guys a photo of an animal that I just created a plushie of. So I had someone ask me to make her horse. It was the most beautiful horse I've seen, and I made a plushie of it, and I don't know if you guys are ready to see how cute this thing turned out. This is the horse plushie all finished. It has a bunch of details that look like her horse. I worked very closely with the client to create something that she would be super happy about. So this is the horse and the plushie next to each other. I tried to capture as many details as I possibly could. But yeah, the client was super happy with how this plushie turned out, and it's always so fun to bring people's animals to life, and I really enjoy it, and I hope you guys like this cute little horse plushie too.
Okay, hear me out. If you're into crochet or knitting or anything related to yarn, you're gonna love this shop in Seoul. So it's a cafe that has a shop at the first floor where they sell everything related to yarn work, all the types of yarns, colors, all the accessories that you might ever need, the buttons, everything is there. And then you can go to the second floor where they have the most adorable cafe, and you can just grab some original pastries that are shaped as buttons. Look how cute. And from there you just grab a drink and you can just spend the whole afternoon knitting or working on your own projects, and everyone around you is going to do the same. So it's super motivating. The decor is adorable. It's all made out of yarn. You're going to love it.
Hey guys, today I'm going to be taking you through a tutorial for how I crocheted the spiral shape. I'm using this one for a bucket hat, but this technique would also be really great for coasters, placemats, really anything circular. So we'll start by picking out our yarn. I'm using these 4 shades by Paintbox Yarns in their cotton DK variation. And then I'm using a 3.5mm hook here, but you can really use any crochet hook for this. To start, we're just going to chain 2, or you can make a magic ring if you prefer. And right into that second chain from our hook, we're going to make 3 double crochets. Then we'll just pull out that loop from the first color and slip stitch into that same space with our second color. And before making the 3 double crochets with this color, I'm just going to chain 2. I'm not going to count this as a stitch, but it is going to just help me to be able to make those double crochets. Then we'll repeat with the third color, so we'll chain 2 and then make 3 double crochets into that same space, and the same thing with the last color. To start on that next round, we're just going to switch to color 1, and then right into the stitches of color 2, we're going to make a double crochet increase in each of those 3 stitches. And this can get pretty messy pretty quick, so you're just going to want to remember the color order that you're working in and try to keep all of your yarns separate. And when you finish this round, repeating this with each color, you should have something like this. For the next round, we're still going to start with our color 1, only this time we're going to make a double crochet increase in every other stitch, and we're still going to work with color 1 only into color 2 into color 3, and so on. And this is what that'll look like at the end. Here's where the pattern starts. So now we're working a double crochet increase in every 3rd stitch from our hook. And it just keeps going. So you can really keep repeating this pattern of just adding an extra double crochet to space out those increases with each round. Just making sure to keep the orders of your colors straight until you're happy with the size of your spiral. And that's it. I hope this was helpful, but let me know if you have any questions.
How I made this crochet bandana, and I'm going to do my best to show you how today, and this is what it looks like on. So all you need to make your own crochet bandana is some wool, a pair of scissors and a crochet hook. So the first thing you need to do is make something called a magic loop, where you just wrap the yarn around your finger and it will create this loop, and then this working piece of yarn, grab your crochet hook, put it through the hole and grab that through there. So that is the first step. So then what you're going to want to do is chain 3, which I've done here, which will count as your first double crochet, and then do 2 more double crochets. And once you get to this stage, you need to chain 1 and do the same again. So this chain 1 will count as our corner. Once you've done that, this is what it should look like, and this is where it all starts up here. Once you get to this stage, you're going to want to just pull that loose thread of the magic loop there, and that will create the first triangle of the bandana. Then from here you're going to want to chain 3, just like so, 3, and then what you're going to do is flip over your work and do 2 double crochets into this first loop, like so, So it will look like that. And you're going to chain 1 and do 3 more double crochets, another chain 1 and 3 more double crochets, and this will carry on your corner. So hopefully this is making sense. So here we've got 3 double crochets, a chain 1 which is our corner, 3 more double crochets, another chain 1 and 3 more double crochets. And again, all you're going to do is flip the work, chain 3 and just continue that round. So this becomes this, and you can do as many of these as you like depending on what size you want your bandana to be. So once you're done, it should look something like this. And now I'm going to show you how to do the scalloped edge. So what you need to do is chain 1 and then slip stitch into the second hole here, and then you're going to do 5 double crochets into the next one, and this will create your scalloped edge. So as you can see, that's made a little bump there, and then you just slip stitch into the next hole and carry that round all the way around this bandana. So this is what we've got now, and come back to part 2.
If you're basic but still want to crochet something fancy, try this springy spiral. It only uses 2 stitches, the chain stitch and the single crochet. Start by chaining a bunch of stitches, in this case 21 stitches. Now into the second chain from the hook, I want you to work 3 single crochet into the same stitch. Do the same for every remaining stitch. 3 single crochet into the same stitch. You'll start to see it curling in on itself and may panic a little before remembering that's the goal of this whole endeavor, and keep hooking. But Lisa, how do I use this? Ugh, do I have to tell you everything? Try doll hair, a fish or other creature whiskers, a pumpkin tendril, and now you're done. But Lisa, how long do I make my starting chain? Let me show you. I happen to make a second chain of 21 stitches. Notice how this one measures 4 inches and the final spiral is 2 inches. That means your starting chain should be twice as long as you want your final spiral. If you've made my crochet along pumpkin hat, you could make a final edge row all in green and then attach the tendril at the sides. I'd stop working the spiral halfway and then finish up the chain with single crochet. Hope that helps.
Crochet room decor ideas. You can make pseudo curtains by crocheting granny squares together and then making a chain and then adding in little adornments like dollies. You don't have to make them fully cover your entire window, and that's what's going to distinguish this between a low commitment project and a high commitment project. Another distinguishing factor is how complicated you make the design. So you can do a doily effect and make it more lacy as compared to just making a rectangular curtain and then just tying it off. And then as you can see here, this is just another piece that they made separately, which is just a rectangle to tie the piece to the side. I feel like the best way you can improve as a crocheter though is to do this method, which is granny square, regular stitches, fun stitches, mess stitches, and just experiment with little things and then go into like a little bit of like a fun trim and make these little adornments, because this is giving you a mixture of everything, especially if you're like an intermediate crocheter and you're looking to expand your palette, because it forces you to practice a little bit of everything without making you do too much of move too much of something.
Okay, you guys are gonna laugh, but I totally thought I was on my business page here, and I posted the original video on my personal page, so that's not gonna go well because it's private. But anyway, I was gonna repost that one, but it has the TikTok handle on it. Anyway, Apollo the horse is done, and oh my gosh, the pattern was just so easy to follow, and I did feathering and everything, and thank you so much, Yarn Over with Natasha, for all of your amazing patterns. I've bought so many, and I'm making a ton for the bazaar that I'm doing too. But anyway, it's free right now on her blog. I don't remember how much longer it's free, but then you can also buy it on Ravelry and Etsy. So yeah, she also has a ton of free patterns on her blog, and I think she's getting ready to release a teddy with a Santa hat, and I'm definitely making that. So
my current crochet obsession is taking shawl patterns and turning them into bandanas. It's so fast, so quick, and you get a really cute bandana at the end. Let me show you a few of the ones that I've made.
This one's my favorite. I've made it in almost every color, and it's so quick, so fast, and so cute. Look at those dragonflies. And then we've got this skull one, which I think is perfect for October, Halloween time frame, also any time of the year, not just for Halloween. It's so cool. And then this butterfly one is adorable. And then last but not least, this is the pineapple shawl pattern. So cute. And then all the patterns for these I found on YouTube. I will put them in the comments in case you want to make them yourself. They're so cute. Have a good day.
Yesterday I posted how I like to take shawl patterns and turn them into bandanas, so let's do that together. This is my favorite yarn to use for this project. It just drapes the way I like my bandanas to drape, and then I use a 2.5 hook. This is the YouTube tutorial that I like to base my pattern off of. It is Crochet by Elage. There's a link in the comments that will bring you to this page. And on this page you can find a diagram. I'm a visual learner, so I just use the tutorial on YouTube. Also, I wanted to mention that the pattern calls for a chain 5 slip stitch to create a ring. I just use a magic circle. And then you're just going to follow this tutorial up until you get to the last wing of the 3rd dragonfly, right before you put the head onto the dragonfly. And since we're not adding any more dragonflies, we are just going to put the heads on top of the dragonflies and not add any more chain spaces in between. Once I finish that row, I will just do 3 rows of double crochet, and I'm going to continue with the corner pattern that is in the original pattern. Once you finish those 3 rows of double crochet, you are going to single crochet all the way across. In the chain 2 spaces, you are just going to do 1 single crochet. And then once you get to the end of that row, you are going to make a chain of 45. You can do either more or less depending on your head size. And then once you get to the end, you are going to single crochet all the way back to where you started. And to make a cleaner edge, I like to single crochet in the back loop rather than the V. I just think it ends up looking much cleaner. Once you get to the end there, you are going to slip stitch in there, and then you're going to chain 1 and cut your yarn and fasten off. And then you're going to repeat the same exact thing to the other side. Just attach your yarn and chain up those 45 or whichever amount you prefer. And then cut your yarn and weave in those ends. And then there you go, you've got a dragonfly bandana. So for normal single crochet, you would insert the hook through the stitch, wrap the yarn, pull through and draw like that, and you get these 2 strands. So for this technique, I'm going to insert the hook through the stitch as you normally would, but then over the yarn and catch the yarn like that and pull it through, keeping the tension nice and loose. Wrap the yarn as normal and complete the stitch as normal. And as you can see, these 2 strands have crossed over.
This right here is my favorite thing ever. In the history of forever. I think about this every day. I think about this all night long.
Look, I'm not one to be extra, but are you saying you should wear this horseback riding? Cause watch this. So I actually just moved back to Toronto from a farm. And this piece would be incredible on a horse. You wanna know why? Look, this is... I don't care how ridiculous I look right now. This thing isn't going anywhere.